Hi guys, welcome to production vlog 5 of Yllista Blood Rose of Osyra. It has been a cool minute, but I won't bore you on the details until the end of the video. So let me show you what I got done for this update. So you guys remember that cave thumbnail I was working on for last update? Well, I finally finished it. Mostly. So as you can see, I added a few more from the original 5 that I did. I went with a closer angle of the face of the cave, as well as the interior. One thing that I kind of emphasized was the lighting to focus on where Yllista is living, whether it is the night shot with the campfire itself or the god rays coming in from like openings at the top of the cave. Although I may have overdone the god rays, they seem a little too wide, but they're thumbnails, and we could work on that later. Another thing that I was working on is a concept for another character. His name is Ruutenak. He is another major character in the story, and will actually be the first major character that Yllista will meet. A little bit of backstory, he is the leader of a group of Osyran refugees, but he himself also suffers a few mental scars from the previous incidents that happened upon Osyra. Although he seems to hold a very serious face, he's actually more inclined to be lax and carefree. Also, he copes with alcoholism. Backstory. So some of the design influences and notes that I put on this, I went through a few iterations on the face and head design ideation, but I kind of already was set on what he wanted to look like. It was just more of a matter of kind of tuning in and honing in on kind of the design I wanted. As far as the clothing influences, he has kind of an overcoat and tunic and a kind of outturned or overturned fez for a hat. I kind of wanted to mix together North African and Turkish and Japanese influences to his clothing and design. I'm still trying to find a good balance of what a Seji represents, but that's kind of where I'm leaning towards with this one. And here's a glamour shot. Okay, so it may not be the most glamorous. I promise he can clean up a lot better. I just kind of wanted to draw him drunk because it is plausible, and frankly, I just thought it'd be fun to draw. Another character concept that I was working on is Hanalei. She is another major character, an ace archer who looks up to Yllista for reasons I'll explain later in the story. She can be very emotional and brash, but she can channel a kind of calm and focus whenever she's behind a bow. In a way, I kind of wanted to design Hanalei as a foil to Yllista to kind of counter her more serious demeanor. Now, some design influences and notes for this character. She is younger than Yllista, but not significantly younger. I wasn't sure what would be a greater cultural influence to infer with her head design. As you can see, I had a lot of different iterations before I got to one that I liked. With the final design that I ended up with, I gave her a very wild hair design. It was actually inspired by someone I saw on YouTube, but I kind of tweaked it a bit to match up with her personality more. On top of that wild hair, I gave her one loose lock that would give her kind of a quirk, where she would have to blow her hair out of her eyes before she would aim. No matter how much she tried to keep all her hair out of her face, that one lock will still be there. I took some influence from Japanese archer clothing and armor, mixed in with some Romani flair and Ottoman and Turkish style archer equipment. Oddly enough, I had a hard time color picking with the saturation levels on this one. When the screen color gamut and general coloring competence work together in magical ways. Lastly, I worked on another architecture ideation piece. I wanted to explore more world building and the design aesthetics of a Seji and Yllista's world. I mainly thought about how roadside shrines and statuettes would look in the world and kind of how they would function. I referenced motifs from Hindu temples in Southeast Asia and Indonesia, Ottoman and Arabic architectures, as well as Shinto shrines. I wanted to push the established aesthetic from the previous architecture ideation I did further. Another concept that I played around with here was the idea of red jade statuettes as different precious materials that weren't too diverging or disorienting from existing cultures and references. And some sprinkled in lore about the deities like Admiralon as well as the wandering spirits. These ones in particular represent lesser deities that people would go to pray at their roadside shrines to guide lost souls that are still wandering the land. And the Hadriat statue represents a mythological beast from the region to the west of Asyaji, mainly the region of Daikineia. But yeah, that's as far as I've gotten. So what's next? Expression sheets for Hanalei and Ruutenak? Story revisions? But I finished boarding the damn treasury scene. I don't know. It's actually kind of open-ended for me at the moment because I'm going to be very busy very soon, and frankly, I'm kind of busy at the moment already. I'm actually planning on moving soon. So I have a day job, and that day job is based in downtown LA. During the pandemic, I actually moved away. So I'm actually about 1 hour away from downtown on a good day, like when there's no traffic, which rarely happens in LA. But since situations and mandates have been kind of shifting around between all that's been happening, I'm planning on moving back, trying to curb the commute. That being said, it's suffice to say that yes, I will be busy. I can't promise that the next production vlog will be ready next month or 2 months from now. I mean, my schedule already is kind of inconsistent at best. It's been, what, 4 months? But I can assure you it will be ready when it will. It's definitely not going anywhere, and I'm definitely going to keep at it. Side note, all of the music you've heard in the background for my production vlogs are actually my own original works. I can't get copyright claimed if I'm using my own original music. Anyways, thank you for watching this production vlog. As always, let me know if there's anything I can do to improve on the production vlog or the production itself. And yeah, I'll see you in the next update. Cheers.